All right, we are ready. We are recording.
Ready. So much drama this week.
So much drama. Days. We got some information of the potential exit. I don't think it's been revealed yet, but it seems like Sonny and Will could be moving to Arizona.
Yes.
So we'll see how that unfolds, which is going to be really...
Gabby was not happy.
She was not happy. No. So we have a lot to discuss today, and we're going to chit-chat. I've got my...
You look so cute.
You like my... you know what this is?
A
Dayton
polo?
swag.
Dayton swag.
Shout out Dayton, Ohio.
Jeremy Shardo. He used to always wear those.
He'd button them all the way up and say it's Dayton swag.
Dayton swag.
Yeah, this isn't the most expensive polo, so the collar's garbage. So
but you look precious.
But if I button them all the way up and I pressed it down, then it works.
When we move, I'll make sure that I iron all your shirts before we
start.
Yeah.
My mom, every time we're on the phone, she goes, "Can you iron or like put some new clothes on?" I go, "Mom," whatever's in the dryer, I just throw on. But I think once we get a new setup, because we're going to have that transition of the Airbnb, but once we get a setup here in a few months,
yes.
I think I'm going to invest in a podcast wardrobe where if we're going to do 10 to 15 podcasts a month, I can probably get about 10 to 15 different shirts of all different styles and make them fun, and then I could probably recycle those for a few months and then maybe do it again, because it'd be like a couple $100, but I think it'd be worth it.
I think it's worth it.
Because you always have clothes, but you always work with all these brands, so they're free. I got to pay for mine.
We'll work something out. I'll be on the lookout for you.
We will. Is your tummy full from my incredible quesadilla this morning?
That was delicious. And normally, because you do make breakfast pretty much every day for us, and I'm so grateful. I love you for that. But I was expecting to come out and be maybe like a little scrambled eggs or something. And I come out and there is this breakfast quesadilla. And it was so yummy.
I had your little salsa on the side, ranch on the side.
It's my tomatoes I love.
Oh, yeah.
You were so good.
I like tomatoes. If there's a tomato on a club sandwich, love it. But for me to just eat I would never eat a mini, like I don't have tomatoes on my salads. I don't want to bite into a gusher.
Yummy, ripe tomato.
No.
It's not for
I
you.
like it sliced thin
Gusher.
on a turkey club. I can do it. Tomato sauce. If there's some chunks of tomato and pasta, fine.
Sure.
So, but anyway, I have this idea, and now's the worst time probably ever to want to execute it, which we've talked about before. I don't think I'll do it just because it is a passion, maybe later in life, of my restaurant idea, leftovers.
Yes.
Because we were having this conversation last night, Alyssa and I, and now Deidre's in my head about whether I said that right. Deidre!
Grammar police, help us.
I just see her. I was like, oh, okay.
You should just text her anytime you have a question about it.
Yeah. But we were talking about it last night, how you want to learn to cook, and your mom's going to teach you how to do so. But your mom and most people, I feel, cook based on recipes and based off of, they know what they have. For me, I just open up cupboards, refrigerator. I open up all these different places and I go, well, what do we have? What's left over? Today, we had ground turkey left over, a little rice. So I decided to take ground turkey, rice. I mixed it in with some scrambled eggs. I put a little salsa, little cheese, mixed that up, put it inside a tortilla that we had. Then I sprinkled a little cheese on the pan, and then I put the quesadilla on it for like 2 seconds, and then I flip it over so the cheese hardens on the outside of the quesadilla just real quick, and then you pull it off so there's that crunch to it. And so I've always had this idea of, because I've done this my whole life, putting mashed potatoes in the morning. My dad used to do that when he had leftover mashed potatoes on toast. So there's always leftovers. What did we do for leftovers? And I wanted a restaurant where you go in and it's almost like a Panda Express type place. You know how you can get, I'll take chicken, I'll take this, but a leftover. So you can get a half of a hot dog, or you can get mac and cheese, you can get mashed potatoes. It's just kind of this variety of leftover.
So many people who like party on the weekend would love to go there on Sunday and just get what, because there's nothing better. Like, I want pizza, but I want mashed potatoes, but I want all of it.
You know who kind of does it is Fat Sal's.
Yes.
Those sandwiches, they put French fries, onion rings, mac and cheese. So it's kind of just a leftovers. I just think it's a really cool concept, but it would have to be a cloud kitchen. type of vibe.
Yeah.
We've talked about cloud kitchens before, but it's essentially like a bunch of businesses share one kitchen and it's just delivery, which is probably what it would be. But I don't know if I would ever want to do a restaurant. I've heard the profit
Susan
margins
Miller
are really
said yesterday
tough.
with the chart, she's like, have you guys thought about restaurants?
There'd have to be a huge shift in my life because I'll tell you what, ever since the birth of the internet and creating content and the fact that we can do this from home, from anywhere, and not have to run a organization or a team, it takes out so many problems, and you and I can focus on problem solving, like just you and I, instead of running a huge company with all employees and people quitting and training and having to be, have a lot to manage, a building and rent and overhead. And if, in a restaurant, food goes bad, there's regulations, there's,
So much
restaurant owners, God bless you. Woo! Thank God, because I love eating out. But, but anywho, welcome everyone to the Freddie and Alyssa Show. If you are new, please subscribe. It's what everyone's doing in the month of August. Did you know that?
I think I heard about that.
There was a tweet sent out, an Instagram post sent out. Everyone's just subscribing on YouTube. It's the cool thing to do.
You have to do it.
You have to do it. If you're watching on Facebook, follow, like. If you're listening on iTunes, give us a 5-star review if you think we're doing a good job. Write a little review. That would be awesome. Like, comment, all that fun YouTube stuff. We've been putting out videos for a couple years now. We're really going to the drawing board lately, looking for new vlogs, our road trips coming up. So we want to put out even more videos. We're going to enhance our members-only platform as well, which we can talk about on some future episodes. But we put out a lot of extra content for producers who want to contribute $10 a month. It's a members-only page, and we do a lot of behind the scenes. We go live once a month, and we're going to be launching a spin-off podcast for the members-only page. So if you want more podcasts from us, you can go to the link in the description, and you can learn more about how to become a producer and be part of the members-only community. So we're going to continue to build that up, and it's a really fun, positive community. So I think you'll meet a lot of fun friends, and we connect with you there, and we have a good time. And then lastly, we've got our merch store. We've got our cloth mask. I tell you what, I was not jogging. Me jogging. I was walking briskly today, and it was so hot. I got to say, it's really hard to wear a mask, but you have to. So I was kind of, when no one was around, pulling my mask down and trying to figure all that out. But, this is the life we're all living now. So if you want to be, fancy and fashionable, we've got a bunch of cloth, lightweight. So it even though it's extremely hot, we all have to make do. But these ones are really fun. And you can check that out in the merch bar. We got a Pride tee. We got some Freddie and Alyssa Show merch. So there's a lot of cool stuff there. But let's hop into Days of Our Lives this week, because there's a lot of behind the scenes of I want to explain to people, and it's kind of I'm just waiting. I've never been so excited for the ending to come out so that I can just talk about it, because I have known, ladies and gentlemen, since February 8th or 7th. I don't know. Whenever I went back and got the 6th because I went back for the six episodes. For those of you who don't know, real quick recap: everyone was let off contract from Thanksgiving to beginning of February of 2019 into 2020. So we all took a break. We left. And the episode before the Thanksgiving long 9-10 week hiatus was when I stormed out when Sammy and Will were talking in the Kiriakis mansion. I stormed out. I was mad. And then all of a sudden, 9 weeks later, me and Will are in the Kiriakis mansion. We have these great scenes. We're talking about Ari and that we're not getting the baby, and we make up and we're happy. And that was the first of my last 6 episodes. Now, what aired this week was the 5th and 4th. So now, moving forward, there's only 3 Sonny episodes left.
Oh, no.
Or I should say Wilson in general. So I think Chandler had the same amount of episodes as I did. I'm because sometimes we go and do different things, but I believe it's just 3 for us in general. But there's only 3 more. But this week, we revealed that we might be going to Arizona for me to be the CEO of a company. And I was really pumped about that storyline, because if that's what ends up happening, where we go to Arizona, I think it's so Sonny.
So Sonny.
To want to, do a project in honor of his mother to help the world. Yeah. To help the world. And I also think it's interesting that I have been really interested in artificial intelligence, AI, and entrepreneurship.
You, Freddie Smith, as a human, and then here.
So when I was really talking about that in the Brady Pub, it was natural, because I understand AI. I don't understand what the company is in general, but just building companies and running it and the leadership and putting it together and getting funding and talking about the AI advancements and everything that we're doing.
And Will was so supportive too when you sat down to talk to him about it.
Yeah.
It was real, like it wasn't really an issue, and he was ready to go. But when you guys told Gabby, kind of a different.
I think someone tweeted. They're like, "What did they think was going to happen?" We went in so optimistic.
Then she literally goes, "You're not taking my child." And I'm like, "Oh gosh."
Okay.
I'm so nervous to see what happens.
Well, it was crazy because in the Brady pub scene, it was written in the script that Chandler drinks. He finishes his drink, but he improv'd. I believe he improv'd this because I had a natural laugh. He drank both of our drinks
instead
as
of
an
just
improv.
One.
Yeah,
oh,
so
funny.
if you watch that back on Wednesday's episode, I actually laughed, but he improv that. And those scenes, it was interesting because if you want to go back, I don't want to recap all of what we talked about last Friday, but last Friday we talked about how that Kiriakis Mansion scene that aired when me and Will made up, right after that scene, or after those set of scenes, is when we talked to the producer and he confirmed that because we got the last script and we knew we were gone. Well, that Brady pub scene was also later that day.
Oh my God.
So we had 2 episodes that day. So, which is interesting because it was shot so far in advance almost. Yeah. And we had 7 minutes, maybe 10, right before the lunch break. So we found out that morning, we got the script, we're like, oh wow, we're gone. We do the Kiriakis Mansion scene sets, and we were done at like 9:30. Talked to the producer briefly, and he's like, yeah, it's hard, so, basically let us know, like, we are done. And then we were just chilling for 2 hours, chatting, talking, like, what the heck? Like, oh, wow, like, this is it.
Yeah.
And then we had the Brady pub scenes. But we didn't want to stay for lunch. We wanted to get out of there. And we had 10 minutes. And the whole Brady pub scenes, we went straight to tape on all of them. No notes, no nothing. We sat down, and we're like, we want to go straight to tape. And they're like, great. We were just like, blah, 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 blah. And cut. All right, moving on. 3, 2, 1, and ripped those scenes out. I think we knocked it out in maybe 10 minutes.
Have you guys ever gone straight to tape in your experience and they cut and had to redo it again?
Yeah. Sometimes. Okay. Yeah. I mean, it's very rare, just because we usually run our stuff and just know it. So but if we like mess up or we pause or something, you just redo it. Do
you also ever remember where someone, it could even be you, improv'd and then they didn't like it and so they had to redo it? Or have you mostly noticed it's been cool? No,
because we don't, like I've said this before too, I never took big chances on improvs or anything. I knew well enough what works and what doesn't, and what to do and what not to do, because I never want to have to redo it.
Right.
Because most of the time for us, we're in one set. So for me, the more takes I do, the longer I'm there.
Right.
I just want to do my work and go home.
You know what they're going to like, too.
Yeah. There was one time when I was very, very new, very, very early on the show. I improv'd, because sometimes they'll say, which never happens much recently. This was, for some reason, something back in the day, where they would encourage improv when I'm walking up to a table. So you and I are like, oh yeah, and then, oh, that was really great and all of that. So, hey, and then the scene starts.
Right.
Well, I remember improving something about football, and I threw in my friend's name, and I was like, oh, did you see like Brett Fleischman hit like 3 touchdowns? And I remember, because his mom, one of my best friends, his mom watched Days her whole entire life, and I was like, how cool would it be if I could sneak her son's name in to the show? But they cut it and they started us right at the table. That was like 8 years ago.
But they shot it and you were just hoping when it aired that it would be there.
That it would be there.
So you didn't know.
Yeah. But yeah, so we're able to improv and all of that. So it was really funny to just watch how he took both of those and we left, and then we came back to shoot. I don't know when, maybe 3, 4, 5 days later, we came back to shoot the scene with Camila. And, it's always great working with her because she's always just, like, on it.
Yeah.
And she lets us have it, and I just love our dynamic.
Yeah.
So it was really great. And I think one of the funniest things that happened was the horse camp. I know we pulled it together so no one noticed, But I remember when she's like, we already signed her up for horse camp.
Ari signing
Yeah,
her up, yeah.
We're signed up, Ari, for horse camp. And then Chandler's like, well, we'll sign her up for horse camp. And it was just bizarre. It was so funny. But we ran it enough where if you run it in rehearsal enough in the dressing room or you run it and talk about it, you get the giggles out. So I just had to stay stoic, and try to think of something else or not listen because you'll laugh.
They're just funny words together.
Horse camp.
Horse camp.
Yeah, and who rides horses in the desert in 115 degrees? We're like, all right. Jeez.
You could see, too, even when Chandler was delivering that line, you could see, wanting to smile, and you're just really trying so hard to stay straight face.
Yeah.
Horse camp.
Chandler has such I feel like his evolving of a person and his character, you can just see it more now of just this absolute just lives in the scene.
Yeah.
Just so, just so real, so present, and has like a layer of humor that's slid into everything he does. If you really, really enjoyed his humor, you can see the moments where it's really funny.
Yeah.
Even in crazy high tension scenes. So I'm really curious for all of you fans and for our audience and supporters, those of you who love Days and who watch, what do you think is going to happen with Will and Sonny? Is this Arizona move going to be what they do? And
if it is, do you guys get to bring Ari? What do you guys think would happen?
Well, what would happen in general? There are families who do that.
Well, I was going to ask you, too, if you were on the other end, if this was a real situation and you wanted to bring your daughter and you were with someone new, what do you think, how would you react? Or say we broke up and we had a child together and I went and wanted to move with my new significant other and bring the kid and I'm like, hey, you want to come or I'm just going to take our child?
I think it's hard because we don't know what love for a child is. So it's really hard to probably put that into our real life.
Yeah.
But I can't imagine it being easy. I think it would have to be, what's obviously best for the kid. So maybe if the mom or the dad or whoever maybe doesn't have a stable life and they'd be better off with the mom or dad or whoever for most of the year. But I think people do that. I think it's very common that sometimes one of the parents will get the child in the summer. Some it's weekends. So it's just...
But hasn't Gabby, too, had a troubled past, I'd say? She was, in and out of jail and just a lot of... you and Will or Sonny and Will.
If this were real life, I kind of feel like we would be the... if it was real life, we would definitely probably have the child.
Right.
Just because she's had...
a lot of stuff happened.
Some questionable incidents in her day. So if they can work that out and if that's what they decide to do, I am really looking forward to talking to Chandler about the ending of When Wilson Leaves, because Chandler and I have really been thinking about, well, we did and then we kind of dropped it for a minute, but during the exit, we were really sitting around thinking about what could be done because there's an opportunity for just so much more after this.
Yeah.
But creatively. Mm-hmm. So I want to leave all of that stuff for the September 1st episode. Definitely. Just because I want to I don't want to give away story. I want to talk with Chandler about it, and I want to wait till it's all aired so everyone knows what the hell we're talking about.
Right.
So we'll wait and see. And then speaking of Camila, she's back. So she just left for a little bit, and Galen's back.
Yeah.
So I'm really happy for them. It looks like they're getting things back together. And then after talking to Deidre, it's just going to be super interesting to see what they're going to do. I just hope everyone can stay safe. I know they're going to do the best job they can with the testing. And
yeah, crazy times we're living in. But we'll see what happens.
Yeah.
So then next week, do you have one episode?
Just Friday.
Oh.
So just Friday. So our little Days of Our Lives chat app will come out later Friday because we have to watch the episode and then film it, edit it, and then put it up on Friday. And then we air the following Monday, which is August 31st, and then September 1st is the last day. So it's all going to be coming super fast, but it'll allow us to really be able to talk about it. And because right now there's still this 2-week delay of we're so close, we know what's happening, and I just want to talk about it with all of the fans who have watched the Wilson storyline, and I can't wait to just get their feedback on what they thought of the ending. But we're going to keep this episode short just because I don't want to speculate. I want to just, we're almost to the, I don't want to spoil anything. So leave some questions in the comment section below for next Friday. And then the big episode, September 1st, Chandler's going to join us for the recap of the last episode. So be sure to subscribe and write it on your refrigerator and get ready because we will talk about everything. And I really want to connect with all of you so that we can discuss, we can talk, and take you through this whole entire journey. But I want to thank you all for joining us today on this Friday. Have a safe weekend. Have a fun weekend. And we will be back next Wednesday, next Friday. Then we'll be back next Tuesday and Friday. And then we're going to start a schedule in September that's going to be every Wednesday, every Friday, every Wednesday, every Friday, every Wednesday, every Friday. And we're going to have that additional podcast for the members group, which will be which will probably be on a Sunday or Monday. So we're going to go over our entire schedule. But right now, our focus is we're going to recap this for you. We're going to chat about what's going on with Wilson, and we're going to have a really fun conversation, and we're going to celebrate. Because even though it's going to be sad that they leave, we're going to celebrate what we've accomplished there and just the footprint that we've made. And
boom, shakalaka.
I think the internet's really going to like it.
Oh my gosh. Well, we'll see.
We will see. So thank you all so much, and have a great weekend, and we'll talk to you soon.